Hey everybody, so today I have another video in the exclusively pumping series here on my channel, and today we are going to be talking about single pumping versus double pumping. It's something that I've gotten a lot of questions over the years about, and I finally decided to make a video. That way I can point you guys right here for when you have questions about it. So I'm going to be talking about what each of them mean, why you might do one over the other, and which one might be better suited for you. So I also wanted to mention that this is an exclusively pumping video. Please keep that in mind. I'm talking to the moms who only pump. They do not bring baby to breast. They are not nursing. Just keep that in mind because obviously pumping recommendations are going to be completely different based off of that fact right there. So to go ahead and get started to explain what each of these is, now they are technically called sequential pumping and simultaneous pumping. So single would be sequential and double would be simultaneous. Those are the technical terms, but from here on out, I'll just refer to it as single and double pumping. And as the name suggests, it just means whether you're pumping one breast at a time or both at the same time. And I also want to mention that most electric breast pumps these days do come with the option to do one or the other. So if you buy what's called a double electric breast pump, you are able to either double pump, or if you want to, you can also single pump. Now, there are pumps out there on the market that only offer single pumping, so keep that in mind. But either way you go with whatever pump you decide on, they will specify what they offer. Just make sure that you're reading really clearly and you know what you're getting into beforehand. As for why we have single and double pumping, it just goes back to how breast pumps were created. They started off with manual breast pumps, and with advancements in breast pumps, allowing them to be electric, allowing them to be able to offer double pumping, and also with the fact that most moms, at least here in the United States, are looking for their pumping sessions to be done as quickly as possible. I mean, I feel like that goes throughout the world, but my textbook just specified that there were studies done as to what moms asked for in breast pumps, and that was one of the biggest factors, was the time that it took needed to be most efficient. So the why as to why you might do one over the other kind of leads me into which one is best. Now, you just want a general kind of consensus as to what you should be doing. I will say that most women will find double pumping more efficient. Most people are going to fall right into that category. There are studies done that show that it's not only more efficient in saving time, but it also sometimes can also increase your output because there is a higher prolactin peak. Although I want to make it clear that you will not lose ounces just from single pumping. You will lose ounces if you're not being efficient. That might mean schedule, that might mean flange size, that might mean a whole different amount of things. So when I say that they saw more output, don't assume that single pumping is going to make you lose ounces or anything like that. And I will say that there is going to be women on the other end of the spectrum. Just like double pumping is going to work for most people, there's going to be that margin of people that double pumping doesn't work for and single pumping does. And for them, it is going to be more efficient. It's going to take less time and it's going to give them their output versus if they had double pumped. That was actually the case with myself. I found that with my oversupply, double pumping actually took a lot longer. It was harder on my body. I did not empty very well because of me needing to be so hands-on with each breast while I was pumping. It just ended up taking a lot longer than if I single pump and I do one breast at a time. It's actually a lot more efficient for me. I feel like I empty faster, more thoroughly, like everything, the whole picture, what you want. Now, that's my experience. And the reason why I tried single pumping was because double pumping wasn't working. And that just kind of leads me into my recommendation. And that is, I would just recommend that when you do get a breast pump, to try and get a double electric breast pump. They are going to be more efficient, but also just try double pumping. For most women, like I said, you are going to have no problem. It's going to do what you need it to do. It is going to be the most efficient way to be pumping. However, if you're struggling, if you're finding things aren't working for you, if you find emptying is taking a long time or anything like that, go ahead and try single pumping. You might be surprised. It may be more efficient for you. And of course, if you are only able to get a single pump, meaning it will only allow you to pump one breast at a time and you're an exclusive pumper, that's better than not pumping at all. So there's that as well. So I just wanted to throw that in there because I know those pumps are out there on the market, and just in case you're in that position. Most people will find double pumping just adequate. It'll be exactly what they need. However, if you are experiencing issues or you feel like something could be better, experiment with single pumping. And if it doesn't work, you can always go back to double pumping and troubleshoot other things. You know, it doesn't have to be a commitment. You can try it for as long or as little as you would like. I would say just make sure to give it a few tries before you give in and you decide that something's not for you, you know, because something new can always be a little tricky when it comes to pumping. If I missed any of your questions, leave them down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And as always, thanks for watching.